Hey look, it's me. Hello to all you wonderful weirdos watching, and welcome to my Amsterdam vlog. I suppose everybody who has seen my packing video is probably wondering what book I finally decided to take, and I can definitely say I did phone Shell after I got in from work and before I set off to the airport. She forgot my Sunrise on the Reaping, which I later discovered was a good thing, because when we went to a bookshop I saw how big it was, and at that point I've been experiencing back pain to the point where I don't think I could carry a giant book around with me for very long. It wasn't on the table, unfortunately. But I did take with me Worlds of Exile and Illusion, because when I started reading it, I knew this was what I wanted to read. I had to keep reading. This book was so beautiful. This world Ursula K. Guin has made starts off with a legend. So we start off in the prologue about this, I think, princess type person. She is a noble of some kind. I can't remember off the top of my head, but her name is Selmy. So we follow Selmy in the prologue, and she is just going on a little quest to find her heritage, which is a necklace. And this is to be her wealth, because she is under the impression that the other people in the court look down on her and her husband, because her husband is like the leader of the people, and she feels like he deserves a wife who has a dowry, a very well off dowry. And so she goes off in search of her long lost heritage, and we go through the folk of this world, the clay folk, aka Gedma. I do not know how you pronounce this species, but Gemia, singular gem. I think it's gem, spelled with a GD. Then we have another species who act more in lines of what I remember the elves in Tolkien's The Hobbit were like. They were very fanciful, but yeah, they are the fire, singular Fian. So the fire are quite childlike species, but I'm pretty sure both of these species have some form of telepathy, and it's woven through quite beautifully in how their culture is, in how we get further into the story itself. But I got to the end of the prologue and I felt mortified for Selmy. Oh my god, it was so upsetting, and I just had to put the book down and stare at it. It was so effective, because she has to go to the Star Lords and she doesn't realise the price that trip would make, and she comes back and realises, and oh wow, it's so heart-wrenching, because when she comes back she's left with the aftermath of her journey, and it's so bad. But your heart goes out for Selmy. For Samly. So yeah, I loved this book already just from the get-go, and very few books do that, and it's just like I had to keep reading, so I took it with me. And I have to say, so far I am enjoying Ursula K. Le Guin's Worlds of Exile Illusion. I am loving Rockannon's world so much. Ursula K. Le Guin's writing is coming across not just I know it's a sci-fi in scope, but the story and the writing style is coming across very fairy tale-esque, like Arthurian legend. That's how it's being interpreted in my head, anyways. And it has this grandeur to it because of the people. Some of these people, the Laiur, they speak in like ye olden court. It's why it gives the atmosphere of Arthurian legend, because of how these people are talking to each other. And then there's Rokanan, who is a Star Lord, who something's just happened and he's just working with these people, and they are going through and going on a quest to find what is going on and find out who is behind it and try and find these people, and that he's traveling. Also, wind steeds. I love the concept, and it is amazing, just brilliant, and I am enjoying Rokanan's world so far. It is incredible. So, other than that, me and Shell hopped on a double-decker train, which was a highlight. We also found the Upside Down Museum, which, when you first walk in, there is a tunnel of lights just spinning around, and you've got to walk down a gangway as your mind plays tricks because of the lights, that the gangway is turning and it will knock you off. It was trippy AF. But this was just a place where you could just be a big kid again, and it was a lot of fun, as you can see in some of the clips you're about to see. There is a giant ball pool, yay! They also had dress up, and just as the name suggests, rooms where everything is on the ceiling.
Oh, Catherine! Hi.
I think we're stuck here. Yeah. How's it going?
It's going good.
So this is our life now, huh?
Yep. It's a good life.
Hello. So I was very lucky to find a really lovely running route through a park. It's also very difficult to walk into bookshops and not buy books. I did buy one book, and the only reason why I bought it is because it's Penguin Classic, and these things are tiny, and I thought that's perfect because I don't need to carry something giant right now. So I picked up Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. And this is a bind up of three short stories in one, which was quite interesting to see that the first story is the shortest, and it is the one the book is named after, The Telltale Heart. And this few pages was so interesting, and it's just this guy who does not like this old man because he has an evil looking eye, and so he goes into his room at night whilst this man is sleeping and basically lets some lantern light on this one eye. He does this slow and methodically every single night until the final night. Things go wrong, and he is convinced he is okay to kill this man. And it just goes through how he just dismembers him and hides him under the floorboards. And he's just convinced this is the right thing to do. He has convinced himself this is sane. This is sanity, and we have to accept that because this old man's evil eye was that. It was evil, and what his actions are justified because of it. And then the policemen come round because the neighbours heard a disturbance the night before, and this man is so cocky, he decides to sit his chair right above where he's hidden the remains, and it just lets him stew. He's convinced there is a sound coming from the floorboards, and it's the heartbeat beating through the floor. He basically confesses right then and there because the sound drives him mad. This few page story was very good. It's just a shame I kind of got bored of, like, the same amount of pages into the second story was so bad because it was just droning on about the exterior of a house, and I got bored. I don't know if Edgar Allan Poe is going to be a good author for me, but I'm interested in trying it out and seeing how far that goes. But so far it's well, a hit or a miss at the moment. But I'll figure it out when I get past the second story and see what the third is like. But at the moment, yeah, I've heard really good things about Edgar Allan Poe from Jack Edwards, so I'm hoping, but we'll see. We shall see. Shell, remember that clock you really wanted to see at the airport? Well, I found it. I found it. So that's what I've been reading on my Amsterdam holiday, and I hope you found the images on screen to be quite interesting. I did go to a few museums as well as sightseeing, so that was fun. So, hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you again in the next one.